How are you? I hope you're fine. So come on board, guys. I'm really missing you on the platform. And let's discuss politics, right? Kenyan politics are very funny, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the drama on the streets. Yeah. Already 110 people arrested for the demonstrations, and most of them were released across the country. Some of them, like Eldoret, they were charged 5,000 cash bail. We went to Narok and they were charged 10,000 cash bail. Then the shock of it all, was it Nairobi? They were charged 100,000 cash bail. Guys, tell me why you get such money for going to the street and demonstrating. I told you that this administration will crack and break you down slowly. That is the shooting in the leg, right? That is the shooting in the leg. There's no other way of shooting in the leg if not hampering people economically. That's the war enough. You know, when people are hopeless, they can't keep fighting. They can't. In fact, even voting itself, they'll not go for it. Let me tell you, Kenyans, one thing that we mess with is stopping to go for elections. We keep making noise, we complain, we say this leader is not worth, we say the elections were rigged, we say all those things. But have you asked yourself why sometimes, even as we are making such noise, somehow, even if people are feeling numbers, you know, as Sudi has promised that watajaza numbers, the truth is that some of us, we are killing ourselves, right? Yeah. Some of us are killing ourselves. So let's go to Oscar Sudi, what he said. Oscar Sudi says something about the 2027 election. Let me just check. And KURIA said another. This is Kenya for us, guys. This is Kenya for us. So you saw Kapsaret MP Oscar Sudi declaring that President William Ruto will firmly be re-elected in 2027. Even if there is opposition, criticism, he is very sure that the president will be William Ruto. And he said that 6 months ago, and he still repeated this message. He still repeated it. He still repeated this message. He controversially said that they'll be adding votes. They'll add votes. Mapema asubuhi. Let me just get that message for you. Yeah. And remember, they have begun the journey. The empowerment project that are happening across the country. Tell me whether these people who are being given empowerment projects, like Kapsaret constituency, who will go there to tell these people that they vote otherwise? Again, I'm asking you people, are you sure that all of us are going to vote? Because I can hear some people are saying that they're already tired. They're already tired with politics and they don't want anything to do with it. Let's listen to this speech, actually. Nairobi. Let's listen to this speech and tell me what I don't want to, you know, that is Oscar Sudi. Kwa wa mtandao kule Nairobi wanapiga kelele, wanasema sijui Ruto must go, sijui nini. Simulisikia niliambia hawa jana waende chini, waende kando, hakuna penye Ruto anaenda. Ama ni aje? Si mnajua wale wanajifanya wanafikirianga lazima wao tu ndio waongoze nchi. Hapana. Hata Mluya anaweza ongoza. Hata Mturukana anaweza ongoza. Mkenya yote ako na uwezo wa kuongoza. Si hata mimi mtanipatia rais mwingine. Now that was one message he gave long ago, like 6 months ago. 6 months ago, Oscar Sudi came up and said that. Then, 1 month ago, Oscar Sudi expressed some panic about the forthcoming election in 2027. And let's see this here. Nico, are you a Kenyan? Of course I am. Of course I am. Nico, I am a Kenyan. What do you think I am? I am a Kenyan. I am a Kenyan. Welcome to the house. You are the first to chat. Others have been coming along but no chatting. So thank you so much. You can give me a like as we go. This is the YouTube streets where we analyze politics and everything else we like. Yeah. One term. Nico is saying one term must go, but we must, when people say that they must be strategic, just saying Ruto must go without actually doing it. That's what I'm asking here. Have people decided that they're going to vote? Because I can hear some people now, young people now deciding to say, I will not vote. We are tired with this. Nico, go campaign. Tell people to take voters' cards. Let them register. Because as much as we say Ruto must go or one term, if people are not careful, if people are not going to acquire the voters' cards, if people are not going to register, I'm telling you, we will be surprised. And we'll be again back to this reggae that we don't want to keep having. Guys, let's hear again Oscar Sudi here. He was in a panic. Channel Kenyotunda, hello, hi, how are you? Welcome on board. Big up to you. Wagwan, I don't know where you are from because I have audience from Jamaica, Kenya. I have others from India, South Africa, Sydney, and different places. So give us maybe your destination. Fan number 2, thank you so much. Lots of loves. Welcome on board. So let's look at Farouk. Farouk, after the last 1 month, he kind of shook, and this is what he said. Let's just listen at this.
Na ukarabati yote iko chini, kwa sababu hao watu wakipita tu namna hii, mimi kwanza na huyu Arab Kishara huyu miaka huyu utafungwa baba nene.
Arab Kashuro or whatever, and Oscar Sudi, yeah? 1 month ago, Oscar Sudi showed the fear that wanaweza shindwa na wakishindwa they'll be in prison. I don't know. That is the Samaritan for you. They are afraid to go to Benetta Express. Jail. I don't know for what reasons. Why do you think Oscar Sudi was shaken here? Worried that if the opposition wins, they'll be put in prison. Why? Why exactly? Now let's see here what he said again. I think there were a few days ago. Botru always say umetoka kinyozi wewe. Hey. Aha, nimetoka kinyozi na kila mahali napita ni hi handsome. Oh, so you are very handsome. Okay, I wish I would see something. Fade imenitoa from the 2 to solid 3.5. Wamama huku kwa plot ni kufaint to whatever that means. Okay, so channel Kenyo Tunda says I come from Indonesia. Welcome in the house from Indonesia. Lots of loves to you. In Indonesia, what do you have? Maybe what are the politics in Indonesia currently? Botor says again, hi, Botor. Welcome in the house. And hi, handsome, of course. Hata kama tukuoni. So channel Kenya Tunda. What is in Indonesia? In Kenya, we are just struggling here with aspects of one term. On the other side, people saying that things are not hot under the Kapilana. Remember, KURIA, Oscar Sudi, Kimani Chungwa, the forefront. Now the question is, why did KURIA have to leave? Guys, help me know. Nick Mwinamo, hi, karibu on board. Give your views. Why do you think KURIA had to resign? Those are the questions we are asking ourselves. And through a critical eye, we are seeing something. Is KURIA going to distract Gachagua's goal and Matiang's goal? Yeah. Nick Minamo, Botor, Channel Kenyotunda, and there was Nico. Tell us, why do you think he had to resign? That's my question. And why has Gachagua left for USA? Big up in the house and say something here. Spark the discussion and let it roll. The ball is in your hands. The ball is in your hands. Let us know. Now let's look for this empowerment. You remember the empowerment that was done in Kapsaret, guys? Do you remember? And Oscar Sudi was there talking about he doesn't want tribalism, but he's the most tribal person if I've ever checked in most of his controversial statements, and very abusive at that. Yeah, so thanks on board. Share a lot of views here. Indonesia, tell us, Channel Kenya, Tunda, tell us something about Indonesia. I really wish to hear something about it. Botor, say something about Oscar Sudi, about our Kenyan current, Gachagua leaving for USA. Tell us something about Kimani Ichung'wah. Kejinj, hi Kejinj. And tell us something about Gachagua leaving for USA. What about KURIA, Moses, leaving from his advisor position? Now, you saw yesterday Maverick, do they call her Maverick Aoko, giving some tips, some receipts here. I don't know whether you heard about it. Meanwhile, let's look at Oscar Sudi during empowerment. That's a month ago, right? Yeah, so let's look at this. And that's why, guys, I'm telling you one thing. As far as we are shouting one term, we are shouting Ruto must go. Look at his funny strategies. He keeps quiet, sits aside, and sends his people on the ground. Let's look at this, for example.
Kenya kutuambia ati wewe unatoka kona hii, mwingine anatoka kona ile. Hii ndio Kenya tunataka. Sasa wacha nichukue fursa hii nikaribishe mbunge wa Medhira, rafiki yangu wa Mumbi, akuje sana. DJ, wapi makofi ya Engineer Oscar Sudi? Kapsaret hoye! Kushikilia rafiki yangu Engineer Oscar Sudi. Kenya tunataka watu wote wataka kila mtu akae pamoja na watu wengi wa Madhira pale wa Munyoro. Vizuri kwamba yeye ni mbunge wa term 3 katika bunge, ili waendelee kusoma kama Engineer Oscar Sudi. Si ndivyo tumekubaliana? Andaa kulalamika, mtaka tufanye nini? Tufanye kazi tusifanye? Tufanye kazi tusifanye? Haya, weka wimbo tukaribishe mgeni ndio Ishungwa kuja aongee mgeni akisema.
Guys, you saw that, right? You saw that. And these are the strategies I'm telling you that the government is using. The aspect of divide and rule, whether you like it or not, whether we like it or not, and unless we hold them accountable, now remind them that why is it that Kapsaret was given this empowerment program? When they went to Machakos, it was lesser, and when they went to Kitui, it was even worse. Now, we saw the other empowerment happening the other day. Where was it? You can remind me on the comment section. Just type on that as we continue on Live Saga TV here for you. Now, we are here to inform, entertain, and analyze. Critical thought, you know. And that's why I'm welcoming you, Nick, Mwinamo, Botor, Channel, Kionyo, Tunda, and Nick in the house, and any other person on board. Welcome and contribute. You know, share your views. What is your thought about why Gachagua has to leave for USA? And what is your thought about KURIA? Now, let's listen to what Maverick has brought on board. This is what Maverick brought on board, right?
You are into politics and blogging and government blog.
Yeah, let's look at this.
Maverick has exposed Pauline Njoroge.
Yeah, so guys, Maverick came out yesterday sharing something about a given Pauline Njoroge, and you saw things that she was sharing were a bit obscene, but then it is what it is. You know what Maverick is. No wonder the name is Maverick. She keeps on using her receipts and her details to share what she has to share. Yeah, so let's look deep into what she said. She was sharing about the Pauline Njoroge being empowered. And she was sharing that on the other side, the Luo don't help each other. I don't know how true that is. I can't go into this because I don't understand. She was sharing about Pauline Njoroge and all those details. And what really piqued my interest was the fact that she was saying Kuria had to leave because of one thing. He feels like he has been done away with, or rather pushed aside by the president. I don't know how true this is. Yeah. Like Maverick says, hiya, let me tell you why Moses Kuria was dropped. Duale quickly withdrew from defense. Let's see this one. Let me just show you this. Hiya, let me tell you why Maverick dropped. Duale quickly withdrawn from defense, and vita kati ya Koskei na Raymond Omolo. After June 25th, son of Sarah fired his cabinet. Kuria was to return as health CS. Guess who stopped it? Amesema hapo in front, Kuria was to return as health CS. Guess who stopped it? Halafu huwa nadhani Wajaluo hawapendani. Guy Okuyu Arwas. Dr. Mwai and Dr. Turanira Kaugiria, known to love yellow skin, went for Turuto's blues. Blue man atalipuka soon. Yeah, sasa Duale, see, he was returned to defense. Then within days, environment. Army bosses told Ruto, bro, kama unataka kuenda exile, jaribu kurudisha Duale defense. Sasa let me tell you why in the next tweet. Oh, so she will tell us in the next tweet, right? So that was the message from Maverick, that the fact of changing Duale, not Duale, but Moses Kuria from one seat to another, and now leaving him in the court as an advisor. You know, an advisor, you don't have any rather higher post here, you know, and you carry the blame. If the government fails, you carry the blame. Now, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you now understand why Moses Kuria and Ruto are not, could not continue working. In Maverick's perception, Maverick's perception, not mine, rather. In my perspective, I just think that he's going to see how he can destroy things for GACHAGUA and the opposition. He also has to go about and ensure that he's working on Kiambu. Remember, Kiambu, Wamatangi has not done his work. Yeah, if you compare to the previous regime, Wamatangi has failed. So guys, I think that his move is also to go against the Wamatangi. So people, one thing let me tell you, Kenyan politicians don't retire. They don't. How do they retire? They don't retire. In Kenya, politicians just die. You don't retire. You saw Moi retire, got out of politics as officially, but he never retired. We could see Uhuru going there for advice, Raila going there, and all those politicians. So Kenyan politicians don't retire. They don't. So Kuria cannot lie to us that he's retiring to personal things. He's either strategizing to destroy for GACHAGUA, who thinks he will win the Milima. He may vie as a presidential position, in a presidential position, so that there is a division of votes from that point. And that is a strategy they must have agreed with Ruto. Or he may also be going on to vie as the governor for Kiambu, because he did that the previous time. And you saw him in an interview. In an interview with recently with Jeff Koinange, what did he say? He said that he was supposed to vie for that post which Mama Tangi got. But he is very annoyed that GACHAGUA destroyed for him. And of course, he was very bitter. If you can't remember the interview, let me check if I can see the receipts here. It's always good to have this confirmation. Yeah. Kuria interview. Yeah. With Jeff Koinange. Here it is. Quickly get to that because I have to deliver something. I've been asked to send something here. Quickly, I have to do it. But before I do it, let me just show you the receipts. Quickly. Oh my goodness, here it is, right? The music here is not what I want to get. I want the message.
When they brought edible oil and rice, and there was a scandal. They wanted to push it to Moses Kuria. Wakenya wengi wamejionea kwa mshangao.
Yeah.
Kwa kinara wa mlimani. kwa sababu aliingia kwa siasa angali mdogo, na hata ili rais achaguliwe kwa makubalia yeyote ile, nyota yake Bwana Moses Kuria kisiasa.
I'm not actually seeing it. I'm seeing other related, but the fact is I did even a video on that, if you can remember. And the video was quite clear, showing the fact that KURIA was announced, and he said that they are going to win as early as possible. He said that it will be a clear election in 2027 and the government will take it. So how comes he comes here then declares that he's walking out of politics? That one, it's a joke. It's a joke, right? Yeah. So you understand that is a joke. And so in my view, I think Moses Kuria is either going to be a mole. He's going to be a mole in Gachagua politics, or he's going to vie as the governor of Kiambu. Let's see this, how it started anyway. How did it start? Let me take a few minutes, rush through this.
On July 8, 2025, Moses Kuria met with President William Ruto and announced his resignation as senior economic advisor. The decision marked the end of his nearly 3-year tenure in Ruto's government, prompting questions about his reasons and the future.
All right, I'm not getting the exact clips, but yeah, this is the clip. How he gave this message saying that he has met with the president and he has accepted that he should resign. This tells us that there is an agreement, right? There is an agreement that he should resign and go do something for the government. Otherwise, it couldn't just be as it is.
Possibly in 2027. 71 to 20 something. Yeah. Is that it was?
Look at this. Yeah, this is the interview.
Have you ever seen that margin again? No. It was 71 to 20 something. Yeah. Is that an election? That is almost like we're almost rivaling Museveni with his 98%. So because it was a movement. Yeah. So 2027 will be another moment like
imagine.
There's not going to be an election in the sense that you are thinking. There's going to be so much consensus in the country. Wazee wataketi chini. They say we have two options. Go Rwanda way, destroy the nation Rwanda way, or let's agree. Let there be honor among, I don't say this, but among men and women. Let there be honor among.
So when you hear that, it means that he has a strategy. He has a strategy to ensure that the elections will allow what he's telling us here.
So people will say now, before we go this direction, let people, there's going to be so much consensus around 2027. And the kind of elections.
So he's going to create that consensus he's talked about here, right?
Kuria's resignation is significant. Wanaongea mambo ya kuteremsha bei ya gharama ya maisha. Bei ya gharama ya maisha hawezi kuteremshwa kwa maandamano.
Yeah. So that is a speech that he gave just when demonstrations were being conducted. So guys, this KURIA is strongly in government, and he told us in the other interview with Josh Koinange that he's close to the president. He can reach him anytime. So there's no way he can tell us he's had any difference. Though Maverick says that there has been a difference and he feels outdone, but I think there's a collusion here. There's an agreement. Another thing that I feel is that KURIA might also be going out with an intention to start a party, possibly, yeah, to start a party. And that party will create that consensus he was talking about, yeah. And then I also feel that after we have been alarmed that Gachagua is going to be arrested, KURIA might be running away so that he will not carry the blame. He will not carry this blame of Gachagua was arrested when he's in government. Right? Now, let's look into why Gachagua had to go out. And quickly, let's look at this. When he was at the airport, everybody wanted to see him. Let's see this. What is this?
Is around. Rigiji is here. Give space for the media, please. Give space for the media, please.
So that is Gachagua and Dorcas going for the USA tour, and that is a whole month, guys. Now you understand that US has its intention also in these countries. What intention does US have with Kenya? Remember, Ruto is kind of bargaining on Chinese and the Western, impact, like using US and at the same time China. So there's a problem between Kenya and US indirectly. We may not be seeing all of us, but I can assure you of that. Now, when, ladies and gentlemen, we see this now here, it communicates a lot. Possibly, Gachagua has been told by Matiang, or he understands that US will help him in one way or another get what we want. Remember, the brother was in US, right? He had a lot of investments in US. Yeah. Now, people were so scared yesterday, some saying that he would be arrested then, that he would be blocked from going. But he gave a speech and said that finally he was allowed to go, and he went. And of course, he always says that his net worth is beyond what people think, Yeah, let's see this. What is Likwenye's thought about the resignation of KURIA anyway? Because I have to finish this and do something. Maybe we'll come back to it
Public
later.
Service delivery and performance management for 9 months in 2027. And who will be that presidential candidate? The other day on this platform, I opined that Rigathi Gachagua will be on the ballot in 2027. And most of you guys dismissed that theory. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you again. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua, with the numbers from the mountain, will support someone else to campaign him? That's why he lost. So probably Moses Kuria is now laying the ground to try and recapture. They could tell when Moses Kuria was like, I want to join Jubilee as a Secretary General.
Yeah, so guys, let's continue actually watching around, but I can assure you there is drama cooking. Drama cooking. What is Gachagua up to? Is he getting the support from the Western end? Is he looking for financial support, yet he has said he's worth more than the billions that Ruto was offering? Is he going in for more than we don't know? Remember, just like Pastor Rachel and Ruto, now we have Gachagua and Pastor Dorcas. What drama are we yet to see? What about this KURIA thing? As he resigns, what personal things do we know about him? Politicians don't retire, as I've told you. And KURIA is one of such people. When we look at what he said the other day, it can't just change overnight and he comes out saying that he's resigning to go to personal stuff. Unless there is something we are not being told. So, guys, I thank you for the support. I really thank you for the support. And as I grow through the aspect of the KURIA bombshell that is cooking, as we go through the cooking bombshell for Gachagua, guys, know that there is something cooking indeed. And as they await for the arrest of Gachagua, as they await to have KURIA maybe being endorsed for the gubernatorial seat of Kiambu, or maybe the presidential seat, who knows, there is a bombshell coming out. And you remember, when you look at the cancelling of the Meru tour and how Rigathi escaped, let's hear this part shortly.
Where is Fred Okengo Matiang'i? That is the question which most Kenyans are carrying, and is actually what motivated me to do this video. Is Fred Matiang'i really the man to bail the cat? Cancellation of the planned tour is a sign of weakness, indecisiveness, and cowardice.
Dr. Fred Matiang'i hapa Meru tarehe 11, tarehe 12 na tarehe 10 pia atakuwa hapa ili aweze kuongea na watu wa Meru na awaambie ni nini atawafanyia tukimchagua 2027 kama rais wetu wa Kenya. Siku ya leo ni siku ya furaha kwa sababu tuchakaa chini na viongozi wa national na region yetu ya Mount Kenya ili tuweze kuongea sauti moja kama Wakenya, tuweze kupea support Fred Matiang'i. Ningetaka kusema ya kwamba kuna watu
Now that is the people of Meru. They were talking about Matiang'i and the support they want to give. But at the same point, we have Rigathi. Let's listen to more.
Baada ya mkutano na wanachama viongozi wale walikuwa wana coordinate ile mkutano ambao mnaona hapa, nasikitika kuambia ya kwamba tumeahirisha hiyo mkutano.
So the meeting that was here to happen tomorrow has been cancelled, and there are a lot of questions around that. Now let's think about it. Why do you think it was cancelled? It's related to Rigathi's escape to America, right?
Let me just give you a hint. This tour of Matiang'i was supposed to happen just days before Rigathi toured Mount Kenya. Before Rigathi toured Meru. In fact, this is the truth. There is serious infighting in that camp. Matiang'i was supposed to tour Meru when Rigathi GACHAGUA went ahead of him.
Planned for that. Went for Meru already.
Before Matiang'i. That was the main reason why initially it was postponed. Then now the second postponement is what I want us to talk about in this video. Before we do that, there's war between Jubilee Party of Uhuru Kenyatta and the CP Party of Rigathi GACHAGUA in Mount Kenya. The truth is, as we speak, Rigathi GACHAGUA's party is the dominant party in Mount Kenya. That's the support of the people. But in Meru is predominantly, as we speak, DCP party. DCP is not comfortable with Matiang'i removing Ruto. But do you think removing Ruto is the only political interest of Rigathi GACHAGUA? Because if it's removing Ruto, Rigathi GACHAGUA can remove Ruto using any other person, not necessarily Matiang'i. It's looking at Jubilee. Jubilee has platform already. Social vote and the support of Munya. And if you look at it critically, there's even the feeling that Matiang'i might actually pair with Peter Munya as a ticket.
So guys, do you think that Matiang'i would pair with Peter Munya? And on the other hand, Rigathi with another person?
Is an associate of Uhuru.
Yeah, because Munya, of course, can be, supported by Uhuru to get to that party. And then Rigathi's party, which is popular in Meru, then gets to have him get somebody else, right?
Yeah, and that's where the problem is. That is the
so
interest.
This creates a kind of war already, even in the opposition. And maybe that's why KURIA has also resigned to go and work his way, right?
Out. Number 4, which is maybe my last point. I think William Ruto has successfully now managed to infiltrate the opposition.
Right. So I also think so. I believe that Ruto is working day and night to ensure that he infiltrates the opposition and divides them so that there'll be no strong force here. And if he manages now to have KURIA on board fighting the opposition, mathematics will be done. And guys, you will have Ruto back, you like it or not. And once he's on the seat, he's a determined man. There's no way you will say Ruto must go. So people have to really think. The opposition has to think, because there's a lot. When they are talking of dialogue, who are they dialoguing with? We have to think about that. Yeah, politics is a hard thing to think about. But then when you put one and one together, you get some mathematics. So guys, I'll end this live stream very fast because I'm supposed to forward something somewhere. And if I delay, it's not good at all. So thank you so much for being on board. I really appreciate your presence. I honor you. You are a wonderful audience. You're good people. You support me a lot. We are growing very fast. And let us adhere to our goal. Subscribe, share my videos, like, and give me comments and support where you can. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.